Hey, YouTubers, welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is your host, Frank the Vamp, and we're back talking about analyzing the franchise. This time, we're talking about Final Destination 3. Yes, this is the one about the roller coasters. And before telling you my thoughts about it, let's go through, who's in it. I'm so glad that James Wong came back to direct. This time he was absent from part two. We have Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Ryan Meeman, among others. We also have Tony Todd come back as a voiceover on the roller coaster speakers. Which I'm a little disappointed on because I thought that he was, he's just awesome and he had atmosphere. But even in that little tiny bit, he's awesome there. And story is very simple. Once again, reprising the formula. Hey, if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? And normally that would bother me a lot, but I'm gonna tell you why it didn't bother me as much here. Basically, Wendy's going with her boyfriend and other friends, their high school friends, going to this roller coaster, and I mean this amusement park, right? And they decide to ride this devil roller coaster, which looks real tall and menacing and horrifying. And she once again, like in other parts, just how it's set up, like the whole three films. She has this premonition where that something goes faulty on the roller coaster, starts to break down, people brutally die, and then she wakes up and turns out it was all a premonition, it's a dream. She panics, she makes a big fuss, there's a fight, people get off the roller coaster. The roller coaster still works in and decides to relaunch, and then she sees some of the people she loved die, and which bothers her, and then little by little she uncovers the curse of Flight 180 and what's going on. Basically, that's the premise of the movie. It's very simple. And normally this will bother me because it's like, hey, you know what? Are you guys even trying? But let's tell you, like I said, they, you know, the producers and director of this film just found out what works and did it well. And actually, I think they did it even better than part two. I'm gonna tell you because, first of all, the fear of roller coasters. I'll tell you, personal fear of roller coasters. I was getting into a roller coaster, which shall remain nameless. I don't want to give that poor ride a bad name. But I sat on the chair, right, you know, with my mom, which was still around. And turns out that they actually didn't even buckle me right. Like, I wasn't secure. Luckily, the roller coaster actually begins quite slow, and about 30 seconds before it got violent and started doing loops and crazy stuff like that, then I realized that I wasn't strapped in, and I was like, oh my god. So I lowered it, and I locked myself in. But that was a close call for a second. If that thing would have gone, I would have been a goner. So, which this kind of relates to this, straight up. um yeah, I mean, the roller coasters may be safe, but there's human error. Like I say, I could have been killed. Same thing could happen to you. It's really creepy. Now, what is the maintenance that they give these things? And man, I love the way that these scenes were shot. They're amazing. I mean, there's amazing shots. I mean, you really feel that you're inside the roller coaster with them. The stuff that goes wrong totally makes sense. Total, which makes it even creepier. Which I was tense because I you know I want to think myself of a brave guy, so I'm kind of dumb that way if you dare me. I'm like Marty McFly from the Back to the Future films. If you dare me, you call me chicken, and I'm gonna do it. Right? I get mad and I'll do it, and then I freaking regret it because it's terrifying. But I got into several roller coasters, and they're just horrible. They're horrible, horrible, horrible. I do not enjoy being in them, but I mean, I'm dumb enough like that. You can probably get me to go in if you call me chicken. And how stupid that is, man. But that's another subject. But yeah, that's what that's what really gets me on the film, and I think most people who enjoy this film really, really find it creepy. Now the other death post that they're awesome. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anything for you because they're so good, but there's especially two of them that are really plausible and creepy. I don't even want to mention them because you'll know when you're watching the film if you haven't seen it. But it's just that, how can I give you a hint? Well, they're really realistic, and I mean, I really dig it. I really dig it. I really dig this film even better than part two. So I'm gonna give this a solid B, maybe B minus on a bad day, but I think it's more of a solid B. So I will grade this on my scale of what was better. Of course, number one is the best one so far. Number two will go to third place, and number three goes to second place. So it's one, three, and two, starting from highest to smallest. So there you go. So that's what my thoughts on part three. I know there's not much to tell you. The acting's pretty good. I mean, it really. I think it was even better than part two because you do care about the characters, especially I like the golf guys. I think they had a close relationship. They were odd and weird, but you could tell, and you could tell about Wendy also that she felt for the others, and that's what makes you care. If you care about the characters, you care when they die. If you don't care about them, then this movie becomes suck. So that was one of the big differences that I think it helped. I think it was better acting than part two, um, or maybe equal to. There were some good things about the acting in part two, but not nothing as good as part one. All right, so subscribe, leave comments whether you like the movie or not. See you on Final Destination Part 4. See my thoughts on that. Prepare to go racing. Yay.